G'day everybody, I'm Dazza and welcome back to Deadhead Shed. Now I'm going to move before my new friends get too friendly. This video, I'm still on the XM Futura. Now there's a fair bit of content in this video, hence it going for 40 minutes. And a few hiccups as well. But anyway, sit back, put your feet up, and I hope you enjoy. Cheers.
Good coffee.
Alright, just cleaned up the cover, inspection cover, whatever it is, for the 3-speed automatic gearbox, and I had these turn up. Got the head bolts with the holes in them so that I can bolt this linkage for the automatic gearbox. Alright, so I'll do that now. Just got to go through that bucket of bolts to try and find a couple of small bolts to fit inside those head bolts. All right. Okay, got that linkage bolted on right there and there into those two head bolts with the holes in them. Now we're going to put this carby linkage on. I actually found this amongst all the stuff I have here. I always wondered what it was, why it had that little extension on it. The original one from the manual transmission or regular carby linkage, yeah, it doesn't have that arm on it. So yeah, there's a difference there. Okay. Okay, I've got to machine this hole out. This hole here is off center to all the others. Once I do that, I'll be able to turn this flywheel or flex plate around just to get it off these where the tooth are worn, just to spin it around, and I reckon they'll do quite fine. I'm not going to worry about removing this ring gear, or I think it's just too much mucking around. Got to give the old Laminex trimmer a crack at doing this. Got a shitty old bit in there. Pretty sure it's tungsten, so should be okay to get route that hole out. Right, I elongated that hole in the flex plate as you saw, and I have now spun this flex plate around one bolt hole. You'll see the mark there on the flex plate where I had it lined up with the outer ring. And now when it does stop on the compression stroke, I won't have a worn out ring gear at the starter motor. Basically it's going to be as new. So yeah, that should be pretty good. I will Loctite those bolts in. Got the transmission bolted up to the engine. Was going to hook this kickdown cable up, but it's a bit short. So I need to investigate what I need to do there. I also need a longer one, but maybe something off a later model or an earlier model. I don't know yet. But anyway, needs a good clean up. I'll do that before I put it in. But obviously I've got to clean the engine bay up first. And maybe even paint it. I've just swapped out these brush Juvalakis because this wasn't working, wasn't charging, so I just thought I'd swap them over, see if that makes a difference. You're just going to remove the thermostat housing. There's a bit of crap down in there. I mean, I can blow it out, but yeah, I'll just take it off and just check the thermostat's okay as well. This 2-speed automatic column's got to come out. The location of the bottom linkage, or this section here, is different on this 3-speed compared to the 2-speed. So yeah, that guy is coming out, and I will repaint that. I'll just show you the differences between the 2-speed and the 3-speed columns. These slots are a location slot for this bracket that supports the columns onto the dash. So that slot has to be in the same spot every time. Now, I've marked the other side of the columns in exactly the centre of where that slot is, up and over. And the 2-speed, you see my black mark there, texture mark. You know, you can see where that slot is located. It's around, what, 1 or 2 o'clock from that mark. And also, that linkage arm is longer on the 2-speed. Just put that there. And on the 3-speed, there's my mark there. Now that slot is around at about 11 o'clock to that mark. And also that linkage arm is shorter. I have got some paint up here. It's that matte black. I might use that for the bottom of the column. And what's that one? Caliper paint. Looks like it might be silver. I might use that for the top. I think that'll do. got the steering column all put back together, all painted. Doesn't look too bad, apart from that. Masking tape does peel paint off sometimes, so you're going to have to repaint that. And also, it's going to have to come apart anyway, because I forgot to put this in. It goes in the bottom of the column. So, yeah, it's got to come apart. Now I've got this as well, the quadrant. I've just got a couple of screws inside there I've got to remove to fit that. Here's the reason I called my channel Deadhead Shed. Originally I was going to call it Dickhead Shed, which is probably more fitting, but I figured Deadhead Shed's a little nicer. Most of the day yesterday I struggled trying to work out the steering column and where this spring was meant to go in the column. I asked the question on Facebook groups, got some answers and some helpful answers, but I still couldn't work it out what my problem was, other than being a dickhead. Now I'll show you. Here's the steering column, the inner and the hub, or the honey pot. There's a flange just underneath that honey pot. I don't know if you can see it. There's a camera right there. Now, somebody suggested that the inner column has two keyways, and I didn't know that. This setup has been together for quite a while, and there are two keyways. You can see one just there, and there's another one on the bottom, which is actually the top. So I've got this inner column arse about, and hence the name of my channel. Now this is the way it's meant to go. Got the flange at the bottom so that spring can go on. Thanks for your help, Paul. Very helpful, mate. Got the column all put back together and correctly this time. I'll put these on later. Once the steering column goes back in the car. Before I put the steering column back in, there's a little bit of room around here to get underneath the dash. So yeah, I might just replace what needs to be replaced. That wiper switch isn't working, so I have another one here. So yeah, I'll replace that. The light switch works, so I'll probably just replace. Well, I might replace the whole unit yet, I don't know. Actually no, I won't. I'm just going to replace that knob and the stalk. I think that just comes straight out. I think you just got to push that button right, where is it? That button right there. You push that and that whole stalk comes out. So yeah, I'll just replace that. I'll get the ignition put in, and yeah, I might just work my way along and see what needs to be replaced here. I mean, those knobs are pretty scabby looking, so yeah, I'll replace them. And also this heater, it's pretty well had it. Yeah, so just push that button and this pulls straight out. I've taken that one out there. Now to remove that. Now to get the wiper switch out is a different matter. Little grub screw there on the plastic knob. So I'll just undo that and also undo the one that's on there and get that out. Alright. I always struggle to get this back in, the light switch. Just an arsehole to find that thread. It looks quite simple, but man, I always struggle with it. I've been at it for about 10 minutes now and I still haven't got the bastard in. Anyway, I'll keep going. And it took me another 10 minutes. Anyway, it's in there till next time I have to take it out. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to remove the heater controls now. Here's the other ones I have. I've removed the glove box inner. With these controls, these heater controls, yeah, it's pretty hard to get. They're pretty hard to get into to remove them. So I found that these long sockets, 5/8, just going to put it up over the cable. Slide it up to the nut banner on the end, so yeah, just made it easier to get that off. Alright, the heater box is out. That's the rubber, it goes that way, the rubber boot that goes up to the air vent. I'll just get this out, take it outside. Alright. Yep, that's full of rat shit. There's the damage on the bottom. As I said, I've got another 2 of these, so yeah, I'm just going to use one of them. Well, she's a bit dusty, but no rust in it. I did clean it all up, pulled it apart. I put all new felt and whatnot in it. See on the door there. I did all the inside as well with a felt kit. But yeah, she's it'll go quite well in the Futura. Before I put the engine and gearbox back in the car, I want to tidy the engine bay up. I'm not sure whether I'm going to paint it or not. It's a possibility. I've got the steering column and the heater out at the moment, and they both protrude into the engine bay, so you know, that'd be helpful if they weren't in. Also, I want to remove the brake booster. I want to rewrap all the wiring, so I'll probably do all that before I put the engine back in. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue on with other things. I'm looking forward to cleaning this up, this console. I just spent like literally 30 seconds with a little bit of steel wool and some metho on that corner, and mean, there's a little bit of pitting on there, but yeah, I don't give a rat's about that. I reckon this is going to come up really nice. Okay, I've decided I'm going to pull this apart. I think it's the best way to get it cleaned up. And there's a few cracks in the plastic liner on the inside. I can fix those. The lid's a little bit crooked, won't stay shut. So yeah, it needs to be pulled apart and I'll clean it all up. Yeah, it's an easy job, well it should be. So yeah, I might do that now. I got the lid off, but I had to go very easy because that metal stud, it is kind of stripped, so I didn't want to snap it. But anyway, it's all good. It is slightly stripped, but at least it's still on there. So I'll continue pulling this thing down. Alright, it's getting a bit dark now. It's all in bits. It came apart quite easily. The only trouble I had, as I said, was with that metal stud on the lid, but the rest came apart, yeah, very easily. Anyway, that's going to make it so much easier to give it a good clean. And yeah, I'll get into that probably tomorrow or the day after. Alright, good morning everyone. Today I'm heading down to Victoria. I've purchased not another car. I've purchased a couple of parts, like very hard to get parts. And yeah, I just thought I'd make a road trip out of it. I mean, I could get them sent up, couriered up, but yeah, I don't mind going for a drive. So yeah, anyway, I'll video when I get there and show you what I bought. Alright, it's the next day, back from my road trip, and I'll show you what I bought. That there is what I purchased yesterday. Now, it has had some work done to it, as in some porting. This inlet manifold has had some slight porting done to it. The reason I know is because that's the other one I have, and that is actually new old stock, that inlet manifold. The head, well, that'd be nice if it was, but no, it's not. But that head is standard as well. It's had nothing done to it. This one, it's had some repairs done. You can sort of see down inside there, it's had some welding done. Now, also inside there had repairs. Now the guy gave me the rundown on that. He said he's had it tested and that repair is A1. He said there's nothing wrong with that. There is, however, he's had the receipts removed from that valve there, and there was a leak into the water jacket there somewhere. It just needs a bit of welding done and another seat installed, machined, and that's good to go. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I was thinking about using it, but yeah, I don't know yet. I might just sell it as is yet. I've got a 250 engine inside the shed there, which is just taking up space, so I may just pass it on as a package with that head, that inlet manifold, and the engine. I will be keeping those too. I expect I'll probably use that head and that manifold on the wagon. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have a think about it. But yeah, I reckon I might end up selling those on. If you're interested, hit me up. It does come with an engine as well though. So anyway, back to the Futura. I'm trying to be very careful with the steel wool. Just trying to get onto the chromed or stainless, whatever it is, sections, because I think in between looks like it's been painted. So yeah, I really want to try and keep that on there. There's a couple of pits or pitting in there, but yeah, I'm just going to try and clean it up as best I can without damaging that, because it looks pretty good without, like with those flutes painted, and I want to leave it that way. I've given all these console parts that really aren't seen a bit of a sand and a Scotch-Brite just to get rid of any loose rust and dirt, and now I'm just going to paint them with an iodized paint to protect the rust or convert the rust. You see all the rust is already going black in there, so that stuff is doing its job. Super cheap auto metal cover, no primer needed apparently. We'll see how it goes. Now the console bin, or whatever you want to call it, it's not too bad. Got a couple of cracks in it. There's one there, which is easy enough to repair. There's another one at the back screw hole there. and yeah, another one there. So I'll give her a good clean out and I'll repair those cracks. The side panels to the console are all clean. I've cleaned them as best I can. I'm not going to get them any cleaner. Still a couple of stains that I can't get out. There's one there and mirrored on the other side, probably for rubbing on the seat or the seat rubbing on it. Alright, so next day we'll see how the inner glued up. Alright, that's glued up quite good. Just need to clean some of the excess araldite off, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I've decided to remove the tail lights and the badging that I've got taped up there. I just think it's going to be easier to put that clear finish on the penetrol. Just going around and knocking out any dings. There was one here. It's still slightly there, but a hell of a lot better than what it was. And there is still one there, but again, that's a lot better than what it was. I will continue to work on that just to get it out a bit further. These doors, I think they're beyond help, well, my help anyway. I mean, I'll have a go at them, but yeah, there's some good size whammies in them. All the way along this side of the car, pretty much, all in the same spot, on top of the doors, on top of the rear quarter, and also on top of the front guard. One right there, another one in the top there. For some reason this side of the car copped a lot of shit falling on it. Just using this hard rubber mallet. It's doing a pretty good job. Just got a little bit more to go. Just reassembling the center console. Got the ashtray in and the lid hinge spring. So yeah, all nice and painted inside now. I shall continue on. Got the main body of the console back together. Oh, well, I'm going to have to pull it apart, the front anyway, because I forgot to put the locking mechanism in. It needs to go in first. It's got to go there. Okay, console all finished. Nice and shiny now. Yeah, pretty happy with it. It came up quite nice. Just removed that emblem off the boot, the lock, and it's actually missing or broken a piece off the back. And also, I originally thought that the spring's okay. It's just that metal rod that goes through the middle of it. It's actually broken at the back here in the back corner. That's repairable though. Here's one that's how it should be. It's got that little arm on it there, and this one doesn't. Where are we? There. So I'm going to use this one. I just want to change the lock, take the lock out of this and put in the locks that came inside the car when I bought it. It's the next day and I ended up using this JB Weld stuff to hold that pin in right on that corner there. And it seems to be holding it pretty good. It's got a gasket for the boot lock. Alright everybody, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I got the back of the car looking pretty damn good. The bumper's a bit ordinary. I've only just put some of that silver paint over the rusty pieces. But it looks a lot better, sort of. Now, the things I've finished. I got this steering column and the heater. They are ready to go back in. The back of the car as I said, that's almost done. I might remove the fuel tank yet and just give it a clean out. I have another rear bumper sitting on the ground here over the back there. I might put that on, I'm not sure. I mean, it is a pretty good bumper. I was going to save that for the coupe. Now, as for the rest of the car, from this back door forward, I haven't done anything as yet. That door I'm going to sand and polish that up, the same as that rear quarter at the bottom. That door has to be painted. Actually, these doors are going to come off, all 4 doors, because the hinges are just need pulling apart and re-bushing, re-pinning, because they're very stiff, all the doors. Front guards, I reckon I'm going to take them off. They do need a little bit of work, and I want to have a look underneath anyway. I'm hoping there's no rust. I'm pretty confident there isn't, but I'm still going to take them off and have a look. The engine, that's ready to go back on, or back in rather. We've got everything back on there pretty much. Just got to sort out that kickdown cable and give the whole lot a good clean. Engine bay, well, it's still bloody filthy, or looks filthy. Like I said, I'm going to clean this out. Might even go back to bare metal and prime it, paint it, get rid of that. So that's probably next on the cards actually. Passenger side guard, well, it's definitely coming off. I want to get to these dings. I can probably do it with it on, but yeah, I'll take them off. Again, doors are coming off. I might have to remove the glass from these so I can get to these dings. Or, I don't know, I may even take them to somebody to get them to fix them, because I reckon it's beyond my skills. So anyway, it's getting there slowly. Nice and shiny. Just got to do the bottom of this quarter, sand and polish that, and repair those rusty quarters. But anyway, as I said, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and send me some comments if you have any questions. Cheers, guys.